All right, my name is Kierra Davis, and I am a student at Troy University. Today, I'm going to be doing my family intake assessment, and I have Tia here with me. Can you raise your hand, Tia? And I have Tamara. Could you raise your hand? Yes, thank you so much. So today, for our assessments, you are going to be recorded. If at any point you feel like you don't want to be recorded or there's things you don't want to talk about, you can definitely tell me. You don't have to talk about anything that you don't want to, and you don't have to be recorded if you don't want to. So, are you both okay with being recorded?
Yes, I'm okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This will be about 45 minutes to an hour, just to kind of get some information on y'all and kind of see what we can do to help you. So, Tia, could you kind of give me a rundown on why you're here today?
Yes, so recently my little sister Tamara moved in with me, and so far it's just been really hard. And for me personally, I don't like living with people. And I know she's my sister, but I just don't like, I'm not used to having to share my personal space with someone on a daily basis. And
Right.
then on top of that, we already just don't get along, like we've never been, that close to each other. So I feel like that's also an aspect as to why it's just been so difficult for us to live together. So that's
Right.
why
And
we're here today.
that's understandable. Well, it's great that y'all are coming to get help because that means that you want to actively fix your relationship. Is that true for both of you? Do you want to fix this relationship and kind of get on better terms?
Yeah, it's true.
That's
Yeah.
great. Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And we're going to definitely work on that today and see what we can do to help. So, Tamara, I know you heard a little bit of what your sister had to say. What did you think about what she said? How did that make you feel?
I feel like it has been difficult trying to live with Tia. I'm in between jobs right now just because my job doesn't understand me and my work ethic and how I would like to run business. But Tia, she's just so strict and she doesn't like anything. She doesn't like to go out. She doesn't like having fun. And I'm wanting to go out. I want to have a party. I like a good time. And she's just like, want to stay home, want to watch TV, not do anything.
Right. Yeah, I definitely understand that. I get you want to go out on weekends and have fun with your friends and whatnot. Um, so how old are you, Tamara?
I'm 21.
You're 21. Okay. So you're right at the age where you want to go out and kind of party and spend time with your friends. And Tia, how old are you?
I'm 24.
You're 24. So you're a little bit older. So you're kind of more past that stage, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about your sister wanting to go out as much as she does?
I mean, going out is fine. It's just the aspect that she always wants to go out, like she always wants to party. She never takes anything seriously. Like in the house, she's just really messy. Like she doesn't take the time after she cooks, she never cleans up after herself. So it makes me have to take on that responsibility. So it's just the aspect of her always wanting to party and never wanting to take things seriously, which personally, I feel like that's why she's living with me now, because she couldn't keep a job so she could pay for her own place of living. So
Right. Okay. So Tia, what do you do for a living, if you don't mind me asking?
I work in the apparel industry. I'm a buyer for Neiman Marcus.
Oh wow. I bet that can be stressful at times.
Yeah,
So would it be
sometimes.
safe to say that when you have a stressful day at work and then you come home and it's dirty, um, it kind of frustrates you a little bit because Tamara has been there? Is that right?
Yeah, it's like I've been at work all day, paying the or working hard to pay the bills, and then I come home and then I have to clean up after someone and just doing that on a repeat. like doing that repeatedly just it gets annoying. And I love my sister, but I just want her to, do the bare minimum by cleaning up after herself.
Right. So, Tamara, can you understand where your sister is coming from as far as her working to pay bills and take care of the house, and and you being in her house and you not contributing as far as cooking or cleaning up after yourself and things of that nature? Could you see how that could be frustrating for your sister?
I could see that, but also Tia has OCD. She doesn't know how to like let things be. I want to go and have a good party. I'm gonna come back and wash the dishes, but Tia want to get it washed. She always texting me like, "Where are you? Why are the dishes all over the counter? There's roaches in the sink." And I'm just like, there's no big deal. Like I'm coming back later.
Right. Right. So your point is you're gonna do it. You're just not doing it on her time. You want
Yeah,
to do it on your time.
yeah,
Okay. But you do have the intentions of completing the task though.
yeah. I
Yes.
do.
Okay. So Tia, um, how do you feel about hearing her say that she's gonna do it? She just wants to do it when she gets done. Do you feel like that is a compromise, or how do you feel about it?
I feel like it could be a compromise if that wasn't the first time I've heard her say that. Like she says she'll do it, but it'll be like 3 days later and she still hasn't cleaned the dishes. And then I have to clean it because anytime I cook, I make sure the kitchen's clean before I begin cooking. Because if I just cook on top of dirt, like that's just not, it's not clean and it's disgusting. So I just wish she would just do it right then and there.
Right. Um, well, I have a suggestion. I'm not sure if you've tried it. Have you tried maybe having a schedule or something of that sort to kind of alleviate some of the frustrated feelings that come from this? Because from what I gather, it seems like both of you are frustrated. Tia, you're frustrated because you feel like she's not helping and she's leaving it for long periods of time. And Tamara's frustrated because she feels like you are on her back about it when she is going to do it, just not at that moment. So do you feel like maybe having a set schedule to where it's not always you having to clean and she can clean, and just to kind of help with that?
Yeah, I think we could try a schedule and see.
Yeah, is that something you would be interested in?
Yeah, I would.
Great, that's great. So it seems like there's some type of common ground in there. You both can kind of see where each other is coming from. Tamara's she's younger than you, so she's still in that phase where she wants to go out and party, and you're a little older, so you want to make sure the house is taken care of, and you want to work and whatnot. So it's good that we can come to a common ground on that. Um, Tamara, from your point of view, you would like to just go out and have fun and kind of put all of the other things in the back when it's time for you to go out. How do you feel about Tia kind of being on you about how much you go out?
I think that Tia has lost her fun side. I think that I don't go out that much. I'm young, so I think going out like 5 days out of the 7 day week isn't that big of a deal. As long as you make it back in the morning.
Hmm. I can see that. So when you do get back in the morning, are you actively looking for employment, or how do you spend those times when you are at home?
I put in a couple applications, but I just feel like the jobs that I want or the jobs that I apply to don't understand how I would like my work schedule to be.
Hmm. Okay. So, Tia, how do you feel hearing your sister say that she would like to go out 5 days out of the week, and, you know, she does not still have a job yet? How do you feel about that?
I feel like, I mean, I feel like she can go out as much as she wants, but she needs to prioritize finding a job. So maybe instead of 5 days, she can go out 3 days. So those other days, she can actually put in focus and try to find a job that will accommodate to her work schedule and that she actually wants to do instead of, partying all the time. I just feel like it can be excessive, especially her in the time where she doesn't have a job right now. And then she can also save money and kind of help me out, with the bills if she does want to stay with me. I feel like
So
that could be a
you feel
compromise.
like her getting a job would kind of take the pressure off of you a little bit as far as taking care of the bills and the household and everything like that?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would lighten my load. So
Nia, how do you feel about that? To think that if you did get a job, it would kind of help your sister out a little bit more.
I think that I would like to help her out, and I am looking for a job. Um, but I just need to find one that fits that schedule that I'm looking for.
Okay, so this schedule that you speak of, what is your schedule?
So I don't want to do early mornings, so I'm thinking like 11 for coming in. But I don't want to stay late, so I'm thinking leaving time probably around like 4. And I'm thinking salary, I'm going for around like $25 an hour.
Hmm, okay. I see I see why you may have some issues with your schedule. I get that. Um, we can definitely look together to see if there are any options that may fit your criteria or kind of come to a compromise or common ground to find you a job that you would enjoy. Because do you have things that you enjoy that you're interested in as far as like a career or anything like that?
One more time.
Do you have any hobbies or career choices or anything like that that you're interested in as far as employment?
Um, the entertainment industry.
Hmm. Okay. Well, we can definitely see about finding you something and kind of getting you back on that track. Because I do feel like you want to find a job. So I can definitely be of assistance and I can find you some resources and things like that to kind of help you out as far as that goes.
Okay.
So Tia, what concerns do you have about your little sister going out as much as she does?
um well, just her not being responsible, number one. Number two, I feel like the crowd that she hangs out with isn't the best influence for her. Because I want the best for my sister, but I feel like she's at that stage where she doesn't really care, what could happen to her or what's the next step. Like she's not planning for the future. And also, her behavior lately is I just feel like she might be doing things that she shouldn't be doing, if you know what I mean.
Could you maybe elaborate a little bit on what you mean as far as things that she shouldn't be doing?
I just feel like, and I don't want to hurt your feelings, Tamara, but I feel like she might be on drugs. And I hope that you're not, but I just have a feeling. And I just don't want anything to happen to you. So please just, if you are, just please stop.
Tia, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know that was hard to kind of tell your sister, and clearly it's been weighing on you for a little bit. So thank you so much for sharing. Tamara, how do you feel having your sister say that she thinks you might be on drugs?
I think that's bizarre. I have no idea where she got that notion from. I feel like I'm a very straight and narrow person. I always do something that seems responsible. So, in my opinion, her saying that I look like I'm doing drugs is just crazy. I don't know where she got that from.
definitely understand. Um, and if you're not doing drugs, that's great. And I'm so happy to hear that. Tia, do you have any evidence or any specific reason that you think she might be doing that? I know you said she had bizarre behaviors, but like, have you found anything or anything like that?
Well, just like when her and her friends come over, like I'll be in my room, but like I can overhear certain conversations. And I know for a fact her friend Tyler, like I know he does drugs. So just her hanging around him, it makes it seem like she does it too because they're always together. And then also one time I was cleaning up and I saw residue in her room. So that's also why I just think that she's on drugs. But I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I've seen and that's what I've heard. So
Yeah, no, that's okay. It's definitely okay. You've seen some things that you deem questionable. Have you brought these things to her attention prior to this?
no, because I just didn't know how to approach her without accusing her of something, especially if it might not be true. So that's why I guess I waited till this moment to tell her.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I get that. Um, Tamara, you say you're not using drugs. Are you hanging around people that are using drugs?
I mean, Tyler, he dabbles in a little thing or two, but um, I don't do it. He just does it. And then the residue that she saw was baby powder.
Hmm. Okay. Well, your sister says she's not using drugs. Do you believe that? Do you feel like you can be a little bit calmer now and not as anxious about her doing drugs?
I mean, if she says that she's not, I guess not. I mean, I guess that can calm me down. I just hope, you're telling the truth.
Right. And yeah, and Tamara, you are telling the truth, and she says she's not doing drugs. So all we can do is believe her. She said she's not doing drugs. So, but I definitely thank you for bringing up the concern, and because that's very serious. If she is doing drugs, that's definitely not something that we want to play about. It's definitely something that should be taken seriously. So thank you so much for that. Also, Nia, um, Tamara, also Tamara. So when you are going out, are you doing any drinking or anything of that sort?
I do drink.
Okay. Okay. So one thing that we talked about at the beginning is that you all felt like your relationship was never as strong as it could be. You never really felt like you had that super close sister bond. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. So have you, Tia, have you tried to form that connection with your little sister before, even growing up?
Um, I mean, growing up, we just fought a lot, but I felt like that's what a lot of siblings do, so I didn't think, too deep into it. And then when I went to college, I felt like we got closer because we just kind of missed being around each other.
Mhm.
Um, so then I thought, when she asked to live with me, like it wouldn't be that bad. But I just feel that now that we are, and I'm seeing how she is and where she's at in life, I feel like that's kind of where we disconnect because we just have different plans. Like I have in my head, I have an idea of where she should be in life, and I feel like she's doing nothing to work towards that. So that's why I feel like I get so frustrated with her because I want the best for her, but she's just not doing anything to better herself.
Right. So Tamara, how do you feel hearing your sister say that she does want the best for you, um, and she feels like you could be doing just a little bit more?
I think that I agree with her about how we were as kids and then growing up, but I feel like I should make my own story and my own path when it comes down to my story as I grow up and how I want to live my life, and that she should just accept it.
So if what I'm hearing is correct, basically you want to make your own decisions. You're an adult. You want to be able to make those mistakes for yourself without having your
Yeah.
sister kind of hovering over you in that sense. Um, Tia, can you see where she's coming from that point of view?
I do, and not to sound, like a parent or anything, but I feel like she needs to be doing something if she's going to live in my house. Like I get doing what you want to do, but if you're, I mean, regardless if it's me or someone else, like you do need to accommodate and work towards getting a job and making more money, or cleaning the dishes. I feel like there needs to be something if you are sharing a space with someone. So I feel like that's why, like, again, that's why, like, I'm frustrated.
Right. So you feel like she should be a little bit more considerate, being who
Yeah.
she is in your household. And it's not that you're trying to make her decisions for her. You just, with her being in your household, it does kind of put you into her business a little bit more than if she
Yeah.
wasn't in your house. Because then you wouldn't have to worry about her decisions because, they wouldn't affect you as much. So
Hmm.
to me, how that can be for your sister.
I can hear. I'm sorry.
Do you see how that could be for your sister? Why she feels like she has to kind of help with those decisions.
Yeah, I understand. I see where she's coming from, definitely.
That's great. So, Tia, when you have these feelings of frustration towards your sister, do you have someone that you kind of talk to about these problems, or do you talk to me, Tamara, about them, or how does that work?
Um, I guess I've just never really been that open with Tamara. So I just go to my friend Kierra and I bother her a lot. Um, and she usually like helps me, she gives me good advice on how I can, I guess, manage the situation.
That's great. I'm glad you have some type of support system that's able to give you the advice that you need. So that's great. I love that for you. Um, Tamara, what about you? Do you have a support system or friends or coworkers or anything that you kind of lean on to talk to about those situations with your sister?
Um, Tyler and my friend Alexia. I talked to
Okay.
them.
So you talk to them and y'all feel like they are understanding about um, your points and everything. So that's great. One thing I kind of want to mention is that when we tend to add more people into our situation and kind of complement the situation more, and it makes it more difficult for y'all to have that connection because you have outside voices coming into the situation and kind of leaning you more towards one way when you should be talking to each other, So when we add that extra person into it, we create triangles. And so it no longer becomes about you two, it becomes about you two and then whoever else we added into the equation. And as we can see, you both have support systems where you kind of talk to them about it instead of talking to your sister about it, you know? So one thing that we kind of want to work on is kind of opening the line of communication between you two. Um, I can tell there's a lot of love in between you two, and that y'all really, do kind of want to fix this relationship. And I assume that, growing up, your situation it wasn't all bad. Y'all had y'all troubles, but I'm sure that y'all had moments together that y'all kind of remember and that y'all love. So do y'all feel like y'all have moments where y'all were able to kind of just be happy with one another and enjoy each other's company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tia, do you think that is something that you are kind of looking to get back from your sister?
Yeah, I do. I just, like she said, I can be OCD, but I do want us to get back to those moments where we can just sit and laugh and watch Love and Hip Hop together. Like, I just miss those bonding moments.
Okay, so y'all bonded and watched Love and Hip Hop. Tamara, um, were those happy times for you with your sister? Like, do you feel like those are times that you like want back?
Yeah. Tia knows I love Lil Jocelyn's Cabaret. That's my girl.
That's
I
our
just want to go back.
girl.
I just want to get back to the moment where we were having fun, have a good
See,
time.
y'all got stuff in common. Look at there. Y'all got stuff in common. It's just when you live with somebody, it makes things more difficult. And y'all grew up together, y'all live together, so that could be a reason why y'all weren't getting along when y'all were younger. You never know. But I think that it's important to kind of make sure that y'all have that communication back in your relationship. So Tia, when you are frustrated and you feel like she should be doing more, um, maybe you could kind of talk to her about that instead of talking at her about the situation. So, for instance, if you do feel like she goes out too much, you don't want to go up to her and be like, "You go out too much. You do this, you do that," because that comes off as accusatory. Whereas if you say, "I feel like you go out more than you probably should given your current situation." So you see, it can how you approach them can give you different responses. And Tamara, um, you agree that we would try and compromise on kind of getting some things done else more. Um, and you agree that you can see how it could be stressful for your sister. And we also talked about getting a schedule or something like that to kind of help alleviate those problems. Um, and just because I think it's important for y'all to build the communication between each other. I recommend getting some type of journal or something like that to kind of talk your problems out in there instead of having to rely on other people. Because, like I said, it just kind of adds more problems and causes more issues. Um, so, Tia, um, given what we've discussed in this session, how do you feel about your relationship with your sister going forward?
I feel like we definitely need work, but I do think that this conversation has opened both of our minds into how we can repair our relationship so we can get back to those moments where we are actually properly communicating with each other and we can live together and both be happy.
Hmm. So, uh, Tia, what do you feel like needs to happen in order for you to be happy enough with your sister for as long as she's gonna be there?
um, I mean, like you said, we could, start like a schedule for the both of us. And maybe if we both get in a routine of like who's going to clean on this day and we actually do those things, and that'll make me happy. And also just actually seeing progress with Tamara and actually see her trying to, find a job and trying to kind of help me out around the house. I feel like that'll make me happy as long as I see her actually putting in the effort to better herself and to better our relationship with each other. So I hope it's not just a one-sided thing.
Okay. Tamara, same question to you. How do you feel about her answer, and what would you need out of this situation in order for you to feel happy and more at peace in the current situation?
Um, I agree with her that the schedule could work and I can put in more effort to find a job. I think what I need for her is to kind of lay off a bit and give me time to look for a job and to clean dishes and do the stuff that she wants.
Okay. So you're willing to do the things that she needs. You just need a little bit of time to get yourself together. So Tia, do you feel like giving her a little bit of time is something that you can do to kind of help compromise on Tamara's part?
Um, I guess as long as the time that she needs isn't excessive, because just to be honest, I feel like I've already given her time,
Mhm.
but I am I do need to be more open-minded, so we can work something out.
Well, I'm glad that you said that, and I'm glad that you're willing to be more open minded about the situation. And I want you to know that your reservations are valid. As you mentioned before, this is not an isolated incident, it's something that's kind of been happening. So I can understand why you are a little bit hesitant to give her more time. But Tamara has stated that she's going to actively try. So all we can do is give her a chance at this moment. Kind of, like you said, be open minded about it and just give her the chance and the opportunity to kind of become that person that you want her to be or that you believe that she can be. Because she's young and she's learning just like all of us had to. So just kind of do it from a distance, you don't want to hover over her too much, but I understand why you are so protective. So Tamara, how do you feel after this session with your sister? Do you feel like y'all have potential to get closer, or
I think we're definitely working on becoming closer and fixing our relationship.
okay, great. That's awesome. So just to kind of recap, we talked about some things that y'all could do. Something else I think that could really help y'all is spend time with each other. From what I gathered, um, Tamara, you're out all the time. Most nights you go out, and Tia, you're working and doing things like that. So y'all don't really spend a lot of time just together and doing fun stuff. Because while I recall, Tamara, you said that she wasn't as fun as she used to be. But like I said, there's an age difference. So she might be fun, she just might not be fun in the ways that you are kind of expecting her to be right now. So I definitely think that y'all should take some time to kind of do things together. I know y'all like watching TV together. Y'all can definitely do that. Watch reality TV together. Um, if she wants to, your sister Tia could go out with you. Um, kind of see how it is. So maybe that'll relieve some of her stress and anxiety with that as well. Would that be something you're interested in, Tia?
Yes, I'm interested in it. That'd be fun.
Great, awesome. And would you be interested in it?
Um, just let me know ahead of time so I can prepare. But yeah, that sounds like fun.
Great, awesome, awesome. And we kind of talked about communication. Remember the I words. We want to kind of from an I perspective and not a you perspective. So just kind of keep that in mind when you are communicating with each other within these next days. And kind of remember to write in your journal and things like that, just so you can get those feelings out. And so when you are ready to talk to your sister about them, um, they're already written down for you. So I think y'all are going to be great. Um, do you have any other questions or concerns or anything? Great. Was this your first time doing family therapy by chance?
Yeah,
Yes.
first time for
Yeah.
family therapy. Yeah.
Well, y'all did great. I feel like y'all talked a lot and y'all got a lot accomplished. Still a work in progress, but I definitely think that it is something that is fixable. Um, and I think that y'all will be fine. And also, Tamara, we did talk about earlier about finding some resources for you to find a career or something that you would like, to kind of work around that schedule that you gave. So we could definitely see if we can find some of that as well. But did y'all have any more questions or anything? Great. Hi, Professor. I just wanted to come on at the end of my video because I just I don't want to give you a recap on it. I definitely think that this one I was a little bit more confident, a little bit more prepared for this one than I was the last one. It definitely went by, the time went by faster than I thought it would. And you're probably gonna notice, but there's a point in the video where Zoom kind of basically was like, "We're gonna kick you out this meeting." So I had to end that one and kind of restart over. Um, and so that's why the video is kind of like, there's gonna be a point where it might stop. But overall, I think I did okay. Um, I have to work on my sequencing of questions because I do feel like I asked questions that were relevant and questions that were necessary to them. But I feel like I could have asked them in an order that was more organized. But overall, I think I did pretty good. I'm glad that I got it done. I was a little nervous about it, but I'm glad that I got it done. And so thank you. Oh, and thank you again for allowing me to do it on Zoom. That was the best case scenario for me because I don't know what I would have done if I couldn't do it on Zoom. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for helping me, and thank you so much again.